Hi, welcome to another episode of Unique Moments where I talk about things from a unique perspective. We are back. We are back with season 2, and I don't even know if this is going to be an episode. I am currently in the bathroom doing my night routine, and a lot of the times these episode ideas come to me just like on the fly, and I want to do them when I want to do them, but I'm not always in a position to do them. And so I'm just going to do this and see what happens. Because the thoughts might flow, the thoughts might not flow, and it's okay because we still talked it out. So what is on my mind? Currently, right now, I was just thinking about a thought. I was thinking about the laws of the universe. And there's so many, but specifically, and I don't know which law this is, like what the proper name for it is, but the law of could be like the law of karma. I have no idea. But the law of karma is that you get back what you put in. That's true too. Yada, all that good stuff. But the thing that I'm focused on or was thinking about was whatever law it is that the universe doesn't move until you move. Like God doesn't move until you move. Even if that move is like a prayer or an ask or whatever it is, like you taking a step and pursuing your dream or a goal or whatever. Like the universe, God, your higher power, whoever you pray to, whoever gives you the desires of your heart, they're not going to move until you move. Like when I move, you move, just like that. That's the song that's coming to my head because that's literally how it works. And on the one hand, I get it because universally it just makes sense. Like I've seen this law play out so many different ways in my life, whether it's like opportunities or just even personal family things, relationship things, desires, and sometimes it's enough to just make what you want known. Sometimes that's enough. Being aware is enough. That's the move right there. And then you kind of open up everything for things to come to you. That does open it. But a lot of the times it's a physical action or a verbal declaration of I want this, I desire this, I want to manifest this. You don't always have to say it. You can always definitely say it with your actions, but sometimes it's very motivating for sure, because you have to act in order to get something. You have to give something, and that's the law of give and take. I don't know if that's what it's called, but we're going to say that for right now. In order to get something, you quite literally have to give something. You can't make a withdrawal until you make a deposit. You can't make a withdrawal until you make a deposit. And that's true in any sense of the word. In money, in energy, in quite literally almost everything and anything. So it's a good thing to know, but sometimes it's really frustrating, especially when you're in a spot where you feel like you can't move until something else moves. You can't do anything. You can't move from your position. You can't act until something else happens, but quite literally it's impossible. That's just not the way it works. And I found myself in many positions of where it quite literally just feels like, if this happens, then I can do this. If this happens, as soon as I get this amount of money, then I can buy this. As soon as I get to this point in my life, then I can start dating. As soon as I figure out X, Y, and Z, then I can start on the business idea. As soon as I whatever. But it's no. No. It quite literally does not and cannot happen that way. And that's just the reality, babes. That's just the freaking reality. And on the one hand, knowing that it's like, okay, cool, like I can just move and act and do and things are gonna happen. But it's like, on the other hand, sometimes you don't know what to do. Like, quite literally, knowing this, I'm like, okay, cool, something has to change, something has to give, something has to happen. And then I understand and I know, because I know the way that the universe works, is that thing happening is not just going to be something happening. It has to be me initiating that happening and that action. And a lot of the times, like I said, it could really just be a prayer. Like, make whatever you need / want / desire known to God. And like, in a lot of ways, that kind of sets it up. That gives like the space to maneuver, to put something in action. But a lot of the time, it's an action on your part. It's an action on your part. Like, one of the things, to be super, super vulnerable and transparent right now, currently, the thing that I'm applying this to in my life, and it can apply to a lot of things, but nothing new can come in until the old thing has gone away. And specifically, like, I have a job. I'm grateful. I'm happy to have a job in this economy, in this day and age. However, I do not like my job. I do not enjoy it. It's not something that I get up every day and I'm ecstatic to go to, although I am grateful and can live in gratitude and can work in gratitude and can earn an honest paycheck. I get that. I'm behind that. I'm all for that. I'm doing the dang thing. It's happening. However, I'm still aware that this is not what I want to be doing. And in that awareness, I want to be doing something else. And in my mind, in my small little mind, and most people, because like, we're humans, we want to be secure. We want to have a plan. We don't want to just move on not knowing. But what's crazy is I'm infamous for that. I love, if you need someone to move and step out on faith and to just do a thing and see what happens and watch God show up, that's me. I'm your girl. However, when you're doing that, when you're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, it's a little different when you're doing it when you're 28. And you don't have as much of a cushion or a fallback or something to be like, oh, okay, like that was a little dumb young mistake. We can just reset and recalibrate. And in the grand scheme of things, in the bigger picture, you can always reset and recalibrate. Like, that's neither here nor there, because God is going to have me no matter what, because I'm saved and sanctified and chosen, and I can never lose. I can never lose. But on the other hand, at a certain point in adulthood, you do have to start making logical decisions. You do have to start making calculated decisions. And you can't just, well, let me not say you can't. It's not wise. A lot of people would say it's not wise to just start doing things, even though I disagree with that. But here we are. But with this law of the universe, I understand that nothing... I'm going to say nothing. I'm going to say that the most likely way that something will change is if I act first. And immediately my brain is like, okay, like in order for something new to happen, there has to be room for it. So in order for a new job, there has to be room for it. And in order for there to be room for it, I have to make room for it. And in order to make room for it, this current job can't take up most of my time. And that's where we get into this whole weird dynamic of things, because it's like, well, I would leave the job if I had the new job. But the universe is like, no. Can't get the new job until you leave the old job. And it's this big, like, limbo space, like, looming over this, like, liminal space of like, okay, like, what are you going to do? And that is still a question, that is still a working process. Because I know the smart thing to do and the logical thing to do, but it's like, sometimes I just want to be like, let me just see, let me just see. But I don't know if I have the luxury to just see. So yeah, that's presently on my mind, about just like the way that law of the universe works. And that's with like anything with friends. Like you want a new friend group, like can't keep hanging out with that old friend group because they're taking up all your time. You got to free up your time, you got to free up your energy, you got to free up your space for something new to come in. And so my current task and work is like, how can I free up my space without putting myself in a compromising situation? So that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I just think I kind of just love the way that works because it really like forces you to kind of like, one, have faith in whatever it is, like just whatever it is, because it's asking you to be uncertain. It's asking you to be unsecure. Can you move? Can you act? Can you make a decision without having all the details? Can you move? Can you act? Can you make a decision without being 100% certain that you have a safety net, that something is going to catch you? And a lot of people can't. And I dare say I'm in the position where I feel like I can't. I know I can. I understand that I can. I know that anything is possible in this infinite, vast universe that we live in. But it's just sometimes inconceivable. Right now it feels inconceivable to my mind. Like, how do I do that? But that's the work and that's the task. And like low-key, I think it's a little bit cruel, but I think it's cool because it like allows you to trust yourself and really like put your faith in something and stand on it, versus always knowing that you'll be okay, always knowing that you'll have a safety net, always knowing. But that unknown can be very scary. It can be a very scary place to live in, a very scary place to dwell in, even though I feel like low-key naturally I dwell here. It's just shaky. It's just rocky. And sometimes you gotta rock the boat. Sometimes you gotta know when to rock the boat, and sometimes you gotta know when to stay planted and allow things to move in a way that's not so dramatic. And I think I'm also there. But yeah, it's just a lot of things. A lot of moving parts. But yeah, I just say that to say, if you're waiting for something to change, to make a decision or to act or to make an action, it's not going to happen that way. You have to make the decision and the action first, and then the change will follow. You can't wait for the conditions to change for you to make the decision. The decision that you make is what causes the conditions to change. And I think that's all I have. Until next time.